Okay, who's yep. You're gonna do the announcement so I know when it starts. You're gonna do the announcement like we are big bad bitches, we drop shit. Okay. Wait, no, I wanted to do the introduction. I'm gonna do it right now. Okay. Hello everyone, like welcome to the another cast of Sometimes Drunk. Today I'm doing the introductory because like I'm gonna do super cool one. Like we are two big bad bitches. We draw shit. We are both animators, and come hang out with us. You can learn a lot. This is me. I'm artist Atal from Tumblr, and with me is Rebecca Peason. Uh, Peason on Tumblr too. So yeah, tonight's topic is real life drawing and the importance of it. And that's what we will be talking about: anatomy, gesture drawing, learning from the reference, and also we'll be getting drunk. So I'm drinking tonight like really bad Croatian vodka and syrup that you have to, it's like juice that you have to put water in, and it's really shitty. For my Croatian followers here, like it's a vigor isok na razređivanje, znači, znači toliko smo jadni, nemamo ništa drugo. And what are you drinking, Rebecca? Oh, yeah. Oh, I have like this chick that doesn't really, it's she's weird. Anyway, she like gifted me a teacup, and like it's a Mickey Mouse. It's a cute teacup, but I'm like weirded out by her. So oh, can you like, I wanted to ask you something. Like, could you maybe send me a package with Donald Trump stuff, like that hat, make the America great again? I totally wear it. I want them. Oh yeah. Oh no, my college, my friends from college. Oh my god. I'm like the whole, putting signs out during campaigns. Like the thing is so weird to me. We don't do that here. It's like who you vote for, it's like your very private thing. Like, zamisli da neko stavi SDP znak ispred kuće. Like, no, just like, what the fuck? Like, that's so weird. Yeah, but you make good cartoons. Well, you're the pioneers of animation. Yeah, Winsor McKay and stuff. My teacher was like, at third year of college, I didn't know what clitoris was, but I knew who Vincent McKay was. To je Marušićeva izjava. Yeah, I love him. It's the it stands for Social Democratic Party, and it's like we have two big political parties in Croatia. It's SDP, Democratic Political Party, and HDZ, Croatian Democratic Community, zajednica. Yeah. And like SDP is the left, but they are not really left. They're like just really shitty. I'm very disappointed in them. Like I'm of course more for SDP, and HDZ is like Republicans. And oh wait, I'm getting a message. Okay, so let's get started with politics, and start with drawing. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. Like, I mean, I couldn't. I'm a student, and I went home for the holidays. Oh, that's fair. Wait, wait, my friend is saying that she can't hear you. My friend is saying that she can't hear you on the YouTube. I can hear you fine. I can hear that I've been communicating with you for the past. I ti bi šaleš dok mi streamamo. Pa šta bi propustila? Shout out to my Croatian followers, which is like one person in here. Where's my Slovenian guy?
Okay, does it work now for your friend?
Um,
Can they hear me now? Oh yeah, the YouTube is behind by like 20 seconds.
uh-huh.
Yeah. It should be working now. I changed the audio settings so that it was my blue snowball.
Yeah, well, you do like the introduction to the topic, and
Yes.
I'm gonna pour myself more vodka and soka na razrjeđivanje.
Okay. Okay, so what we were meaning to talk about tonight after the little foray into politics and whatnot, we're talking about the importance of drawing from real life and using references. Because Mihe is currently in college. I'm a college graduate, and I said
Yeah,
maybe.
college. I fuck bitches and smoke weed all day.
Hey, what a coincidence! I'm like a filthy degenerate like postgraduate who does the same thing except fuck bitches.
Yeah, well, I do that too.
Well, Mihe, if I'm lucky this year, I'm gonna lose my V card in a three-way.
Oh, I'm not sure what you mean by that.
A three-way V card?
Oh, you the okay, I got it now. Like no, okay.
I might have
Oh,
something arranged.
oh,
Okay, and you know what? I still need to. I need to order some business cards anyway. So why not design a V card and put two in there for the two people that I might be giving it up to? And you know what? That would be appropriate.
wow, that is creative.
Yes. Why wouldn't you want to design a V card?
Well, whatever.
I am sorely disappointed in the lack of V card designs in Google Images when I looked it up too.
Like that's virginity card, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
No, my room is confused. I'm not. I
Listen,
got
I'm
it.
extremely sexually frustrated, and that's why I get drunk every Saturday and do this.
Well,
So, drawing from real life.
experience
So,
not that you have.
to
It's not that
transition from that,
you
I
have.
have spent 200 plus hours staring intently at naked people and drawing them. That's what we call life drawing, folks, and that's what we call a segue.
What?
A segue, as in like you transition from one topic to the other conversationally.
Okay.
Listen. I told you I was
I just
smoking a
wanted
fuck
to
ton
say,
before this.
listen, to seduce a girl, all you have to have is a field of tangerines in your birthplace where your family is from, and you will you
Oh,
will get
but
uh,
Mihe,
yes.
I was propositioned for this. So I didn't have to do anything except be myself. And then I was asked, hey, would you want to do a three-way? Because we trust you.
Well, I have a field of tangerines.
Okay. I'll bring tangerines to the Sunshine State where they grow oranges.
Yeah, I have oranges and tangerines actually.
Anyway, so, speaking of naked people, the importance of real life and anatomy.
Yes.
See, here's the thing. I'm going to transition in conversation. So, as a college student, Mihe, have you done any life drawing yet, like with nude models?
Oh yeah, we actually have a whole class
Yeah,
like two times a week. Uh,
yeah, as you should.
in Croatian, real like naked real life drawing is called akt. Klasični akt,
We just
actually.
call it nude drawing.
Well, oh shit, someone's shouting outside. Anyway,
Wow, did like
it's called-
something happen?
no, it's just students getting drunk.
I was gonna ask, did somebody win a drinking contest? Did somebody lose a
Well,
drinking
Like
contest?
context every night of the week, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? You guys would be at home in West Virginia. You know why?
Yeah.
Do you know why
Anyway.
do you know why you'd be at home in West Virginia?
Why?
Because their state sport is drunk driving.
What? Their state
Their state
Sport.
sport is drunk driving.
drunk driving. That's Croatian start sport too.
Yeah, you would get along with West Virginia very well. If you ever come to the States, go to West Virginia. Though I'm not sure if you'll enjoy knowing that like the half destroyed houses actually house people currently.
Wow.
My sister went to college in West Virginia. Actually, she went for graphic arts and business.
I'm trying to find a funny image.
Yeah. Anyway, so the importance
Real
of
life
life.
drawing.
Anyway, I actually do really want to talk about this because life drawing was actually very, very important to me in college. And it's going to be very important to you in college. I'm pretty sure it's currently very important to you in college. And actually, fun fact, me and my sister and our friend Ash were actually going to a life drawing meetup on Tuesday. And I've actually started going to a life drawing meetup here in New Jersey. And it's been years since I've done life drawing, and I absolutely love it. Oh my gosh, just $15 like a week. We give it to the model to pay the model, and we have 3 hours of life drawing, and It's amazing. I remember when we had life drawing in school. Our first class was anatomy, and like still life and anatomy is what we were learning. And sorry, just burping. Every week we would go, and what we were learning initially, the way my college was set up, is each class, we had one class a week. Our semester was 11 weeks long, and each class was 4 hours. So by the end of the 11 weeks, we spent 44 hours in each class. So what would happen is we would go to class, and for 4 hours we would draw some still lifes. Like she would set up a bunch of objects, and we would draw them. And it was always, I actually really liked the atmosphere of it. In the summer, all the lights would be off. Actually, all the time, all the lights would be turned off. Spotlights would be turned on to the subject, and we would draw it. But in the last 2 weeks of the class, we got nude models for the first time, and that was basically how you would know who you would see for the next 5 weeks, like for the next rest of your time at school, and who would drop out. Because there were people there who were actually like so nervous about being in the room with a naked person that they skipped those classes.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
What the
Uh,
fuck?
yeah. One week was specifically going to be a female model, and the next week was going to specifically be a male model, just so that we could have our first foray into that, and so we could see if we were used to it or not, or get used to it. And very quickly, I'm like, it's professional nudity. It's all cool. And I could confidently say I was never like shocked or taken off guard or anything by a nude model like just suddenly whipping off like whatever covering they were wearing, because when they do the nude modeling, they put like just a robe or a sheet of fabric over themselves when they're on
Oh,
their breaks and all that. But I always liked life drawing, and while I was in school, I went to the workshops also. And I always say I have spent about 200 plus hours, somewhere between 200 and 300 hours in the course of 6 years. I should have spent more drawing naked people, like while in the presence of them in real life. And I've used some other websites, I've done some life drawing from that, but it's kind of never the same. Because when you have a nude model in front of you, they can't hold like the perfect pose for the entire time. They're gonna move a little. And you kind of sort of capture that in your art, and it gives it some sort of movement to it when you're drawing them.
yeah, fuck them. I always measure my proportions wrong.
In the last life drawing thing that I did, he was playing the guitar while he was posing with a guitar.
Ah,
So his hands were moving constantly. And then I got bored and I just drew like all the other people that were drawing at the same time as me.
hmm.
So that's always an alternative with life drawing, but I always liked it, and that's why I'm so glad that I found this group. Mihe, do you want to take over for a moment while I just like take a quick trip to the bathroom?
Yes.
Okay, thank
So
you.
I was starting to say I have in college like a class that's basically real life drawing, and we have it twice weekly. On Mondays it's like a dude, on Fridays it's a chick, and my father once called me like Friday morning, and he's like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like I'm running for the class right now. Like I will talk to you later." And he was like, "Which class?" And I'm like, real life drawing. And he's just like, "Fuck, I couldn't draw naked people at Friday morning. Like, who the fuck does that?" Anyway, not the point. But what I wanted to say is it's a super important class. It helped me a lot to, to put together some measures, like, it's it's very important to learn how to view things and how to transfer them to paper. We usually do one pose for like 2 hours, and it's not only about the pose. It's more focused on anatomy than, like, all cool wild gestures and shit. But we do that too sometimes, not a lot though. Like the teacher said we would, but she did not keep her promise. I think she's always like drunk. Lots of people said that she's drunk all the time.
Back. Who's
Oh
drunk
yeah,
all the
hello.
time?
My classic drawing teacher.
Oh, I had a seventh grade teacher who was actually drinking on the job. I don't know. Is that stuff like accepted where you are? If a teacher is found out to be drunk like during class, is that like huge scandal?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was a huge scandal. She always had like a can of Sprite on her desk, but it turned out to not be Sprite.
Yeah, I don't know. I got like super pissed off about this teacher like the other day because she was like, not only is this, it's not you just have to perfectly copy things. You have to you put do your art. You have to put in artistic value.
Yeah.
What? Wait, what?
Dude, things are gonna be great when I live by myself again.
What?
Nothing. Anyway, so you're talking about. I'm sorry, go on, you were talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Real life drawing classes are super important, and I'm really like baffled how
Mm-hmm.
some people of wait, you asked me something about a scandal in Croatia. Can you
Oh,
repeat
I
the
was
question?
asking, is there a scandal if your teachers are found drinking on the job?
No, it's actually a very usual thing. It happens often. I've had few teachers like that.
Yeah.
uh,
Alright, I was wondering because it was a
are you
huge
asking me
scandal
because I'm
for.
Slavic? Because that's racist.
Wait, what?
Nothing. I'm just kidding.
Heh.
uh,
Heh. Anyway, do go on.
yeah, and it helped me a lot, to give some volume to my
Mm-hmm.
drawings in general, to pay attention. Like I can get carried away with gesture and then forget about anatomy, but
Mm-hmm.
when you constantly draw, when you're constantly focused on anatomy, you get it in your hand. And that's how I started drawing. Actually, I would like when I started getting serious about art, it was the thing I did.
Mm-hmm.
Like I took, I looked up anatomy on the internet, and I saw, there are six heads in one body. Your hands reach up to halfway of your
Mm-hmm.
buttocks. Kako se kažu bedra?
Mm-hmm.
Of your like upper legs and stuff.
Your
So, and
thighs?
you learn some, yeah, thighs. And you learn some, general things that you can later change,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to know them. You have to know the basics, and then you can play with them.
Yeah. And where you have to know you have to know the rules to break the rules.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yes. Oh, awkward silence.
Awkward silence. Always the best.
Okay,
Especially when
so
you're trying to podcast. I'm sorry. I'm like so distracted right now. And we have four people watching. We're only half an hour in. We have an hour left. Oh, but the thing I always liked about life drawing is
yeah,
that even like no matter how long the pose you were given, um, you could always kind of pretty much just do what you want in regards to it because when given a long pose, my attention like shifts way too much. For one thing, I don't have a long attention span. So during like an hour long pose or something, especially since it stops twice in the middle, because I know here at least models take a break every 20 minutes, and so what I sometimes do is if I like how the hands are positioned or look, I'll just draw the hands. And I'll just draw parts of the body that I find particularly appealing if I find the majority of the composition to be, like, uninteresting to me, you know?
well, I actually had, the same problem as you have at the beginning.
Yeah?
I'm a very, I'm a person with short attention span, like super short, and I don't like working on things for too long.
That's the ADHD, my friend.
What?
Oh, that's the ADHD, my friend.
ADHD. What?
ADHD. It's a mental disorder.
Oh, the.
Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
I'm formally diagnosed and I have like impulse problems and attention problems because of it. So
Yeah, I don't know anything about diagnosis, but I'm not a person with long attention span.
yeah,
So but I know, I never visited anyone about any of my problems.
yeah.
Anyway, doesn't matter. I have like super short attention span,
Mhm.
and I was like really worried that I wouldn't be able to do those classes.
Mhm.
But and I still get the thing like I'm done, pretty soon. I always have like half an hour, like, and I'm just like, sitting around and waiting and staring at my drawing. But I forced myself to it
To do it the
because you
entire
can
time.
learn a lot from anatomy. What?
Yeah. Oh, like you forced yourself to do it the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I did was like, I won't draw the
Well, I
whole.
mean, I give up at one point and just go sit and draw my own shit. But I do my best.
The nice thing is though, like about that, if you get bored drawing the model, you know what the nice thing is?
Hmm?
That there are other people in the room that are holding a pose for as long as the model is, basically. And everybody sits in a different way. Like, so you can actually get a very good sense for how to draw people sitting. And what's good for me is at the meetup that I go to, some people are standing with an easel. So I'm able. So what I did last time in our final pose for the anatomy meetup, the last time I went, what I did was I didn't just draw the model. I drew everyone in my field of view. So I drew all the people that were drawing the model. Well, like I drew the room in front of me as it looked. I should really take a picture and post it, actually.
Uh-huh.
What you typing?
With my girlfriend.
Wait, you have a girlfriend?
Oh yeah.
When did that happen? You didn't tell me.
Oh yeah. It happened like a month and so ago.
Oh, no wonder you don't talk to me much anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I thought I did. Like, I was so sure I
No,
did.
you didn't tell me.
Oh, yeah, it's my
You don't tell
girlfriend.
me anything.
Yeah, my girl. And we are like, we are in different cities, and she's drunk, and she's like, it's like, I wish you were here and stuff. So I'm talking to her.
While we're doing a podcast? Like,
I can't leave her alone.
I know.
Okay.
It's like, dude, I'm understanding, but it's like, also,
I hope
we're in the middle of a cast,
you
dude.
shortages.
Dude, we're in the middle of a cast. You asked if we could do it earlier. We're doing it 2 hours earlier than we usually
Yeah,
do.
I know. It's like super short message. Like, I will talk to
Okay.
you later. It was that message.
I mean, it's like, I know we're boring, but,
Oh my god,
dude,
we are not boring. I'm a
dude.
joke. No, we are not.
I understand divided attention. If I had a girlfriend, I'd be doing that, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm drunk.
So am I.
Yeah, good. Okay.
I'm trying real hard that my only emotion is happy for you. It actually kind of is right now. I think if I was
Uh,
drunker, I'd just get sad about how nobody likes me.
Man, come on, don't be like that.
See, like that's what I'm saying. I'm not like that. I'd be like that if I were
Right.
drunker. So I'm gonna drink more until I'm
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
I'm gonna tell you these
Yeah,
details another day.
yeah.
But no.
After this, tell me the details so that I can get like that as I drink more and
Oh
play
shit. Yeah,
and
do you
play
want me to
Overwatch.
like? Do you want me to like get you to tell you the deets right now when you're okay?
No, tell me
Or
the deets later. Tell me the deets later. I'm just making jokes so that. Here's the thing. I told you about this. I make the jokes about my own.
yeah, I know. I'm
Yeah.
just
I
joking.
make the, I make the jokes. I want the podcast to know. I make the jokes so that my insecurities become funny to other people, and it means that they relate. So it means I'm not the only one, but at the same time, it means that I get to control it.
Yeah, jokes
So
are good.
that's why I joke because it means I'm the one laughing at it, and nobody else could laugh at it before I did. So it means it's okay for people to laugh at it. Also, I seriously like the way you drew us. I'm just like staring at that through the whole thing.
Yeah, I like, how I called Travarica.
Oh,
It's like a very village Slav, like
yeah.
Slavic, like super
Hey,
village.
hey, is the squatting Slav like your meme that was just like made it to English?
Mm, well, like we Slavs are not a homogenic group, and squatting is
Let me
more
see.
popular in Eastern Slavs. Like we don't do it in Croatia actually.
Yeah, no, I was wondering if the squatting Slav is like your guys' meme before it was ours, like cuz or not before it was ours, before I saw it in English.
I think it was more of it was probably an English meme.
Yeah, because it's like they didn't call it just the squatting Slav. The guy had a name. I don't know what it. My thing is being an idiot.
I mean, as I said, it's not a Croatian thing.
Yeah. Anyway, so other than
I
that,
mean,
like
it's to the
I have
meme
a
and
I have a question actually.
yeah.
What do you prefer, long poses or short poses, and why?
Short poses.
Why?
I'm an animator.
Exactly. I was gonna say that too, but yeah,
Yeah, that's actually a really good question because
it
we are
is.
both animators and we do this from animator perspective. And
Yes.
when you're an animator, you're interested in
I like doing key
man,
poses, and I actually really like doing key poses because I don't have the patience for storyboarding, but I don't have the patience for in betweening. I can do some pretty killer in betweening, let me tell you that. I mean, it's like you saw those idle animations I did, right?
yeah, they were good,
Yeah, let me
really.
tell you, like, you know what? I'm proud of those because I made the pieces so well that I didn't need to draw in any like fixes for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
I
have stuff like Rick and Morty's, like
oh my god. You know what? That was like the greatest compliment because I really like how smooth Rick and Morty's like animation is, even though they do have like movable piece looking animation. It
yeah.
looks like, you know what? It looks like it's like Bob's Burgers in that it looks like it should be like the lazy tweening animation that Family Guy is, but it isn't.
No, it looked really good. Like as I said, it really reminded me of Rick and Morty.
I'm so glad. You know what? And Joe, the one who wrote Time Out, like the song that it's for,
Hmm?
she really loved them. She said that they looked like fighting game animations. And that is exactly what they're supposed to look like.
Yeah.
And
When are you planning to have that thing out?
what?
When are you planning to have the whole thing out?
Late February, early March, and but if it takes longer, then I'm gonna shoot for 413 because why not?
Oh yeah, that
But
would be great.
oh, I was gonna ask actually for that thing, that secret project that is not so secret. It would it be okay if at some point I asked you if you wanted to do like a shot for that? Like I mean, just draw the asset for it.
Oh yeah, I'd be cool with that.
Yeah, because I have a few scenes, and you know what? It's like I want that feel of an Act Five. Oh, this is about Homestuck, by the way. Look up the Before album, the song "Time Out" by Scytherist on SoundCloud. She's super cool. You should look her up. I'm sorry, I love Joe. I love Joe immensely. On the last solo cast, like I was just gushing about her, and
Post the link in the chat, and we should like continue with the.
yeah, no, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say though that I just have a lot of like I want it to feel like an Act Five Flash.
Yeah,
Yeah, so just like whatever your approximation of the homesick style is for whatever I want you to draw. Like I'll tell you the shots I want. Anyway,
yeah, we will arrange it.
and gesture is very important to all this actually. I still you want to know something that's unbelievable to a lot of people who know of this artist.
Hmm?
For once, I'm
Cool.
gonna name names. You know Andrew Dobson, yeah.
Oh yeah, do I
Okay,
know
so do you want
him?
to know something
You're
that's
acting
kind
like
of
we don't shit talk him like every
no.
second.
I'm not gonna shit talk him here, actually, because do you want to know something?
What?
I was really into Dobson's work when I was 15 and I was exploring my sexuality and stuff, right? That
Oh,
was when he was posing as a woman, Caddy N, with all the inflation work. I was a weird 15-year-old, man. I was a weird 15-year-old and I had a thing for stuff. And so for big boobs specifically, so like boob inflation was just like a plus. Not safe for
Oh,
work, everyone. Anyway,
well,
I think I flagged our channel as not safe for work. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I did because I know that at some point we're going to talk about my origins in voice acting with Supa because
mm,
that's where she originated with me. But
yeah.
here's the thing with gestures actually. One of the things that I learned was actually from Dobson. This was when he was at the tail end of his college career thing. And let me tell you, what makes this funny is he blocked me on Twitter because he blocks everybody, but I actually come from a place as someone who formerly admired him. The one thing that I learned about gestures is that they can actually be kept to a minimum of one curve to get how they're going. I mean, even though the spine actually goes into an S curve when you're drawing it realistically, the gesture of a movement can be whittled down to one curve, honestly. Because you can go from the head to the weight bearing leg in one curve. Like if you're trying to also, especially as an animator, when you're trying to like exaggerate a gesture. And I always love the thing where you learn that the hips and the shoulders are counterlever to each other. So it's kind of like when you're bouncing a ball, like if you bounce it at like one angle, it'll be the mirroring angle as it bounces away. And it's just stuff like I love stuff like that because it's just a consistency in nature and math and like whatever way that you do it, it just always calculates out to the same. That everything has some sort. I'm gonna say like I hate math, but I fucking love math. Okay, does that
Yeah,
make
I
sense?
agree with that. Yeah.
I fucking love math and what it means to like physics and movement and kinetics and all that stuff. And if you have like an understanding of that, it's easy to sort of track patterns in randomness. I think that's why I understand language so well, to be honest. Like, I see the rules in the English language, and people are like, what the fuck even is the English language? You know?
Well, as somebody who had to learn the rules,
I know, I'm so impressed by that, by the way.
yeah.
You know, it's like I have such respect for people who speak more than one language.
Well, English is actually pretty easy.
I am glad you once said to me that Croatian was, and I quote, like Russian but harder.
It is.
I have a question. Do you guys use Cyrillic like script, or do you use more like the Roman script?
You think we're Serbian? No. We don't use the Cyrillic at all.
Yeah.
Serbs and the Montenegrin people use it. We don't.
You guys use the Roman alphabet, right? Because I
Yeah,
mean, you use
just
that, but there's just like a bunch of accents everywhere.
what? Well, we have, some, accent like ch, sh, j, j, etc.
You know what the thing is?
But
You know what? I always like. I think every language lesson should just lead with that. How you pronounce every character in the language, because I know that with like R sounds, like from what I've heard, like we in English pronounce it ra, right? But like in Slavic languages, but also in Spanish, you have a rolling ra, right?
uh,
But in French, it's a soft R, like ra. So it goes from back of the throat to like rolled on the front of the teeth. And that's always the most interesting thing about language to me. And sometime when we're talking about voice acting, I have to talk about that in terms of doing accents. I have to talk about that in doing accents sometime is half of understanding like an accent in English is understanding the base pronunciation of all the characters. I have no idea what you're saying. You're talking to your roommate?
Mahikista.
You're talking to your girlfriend still.
What? No, somebody told me, like, my friend was like, why is French are so funny to me?
Because it comes from the back of the throat. Bonjour.
And I'm just like being here like, Mahik Ishtar.
Okay, see, here's the
Mahik
difference.
Ishtar. Does anyone get it?
Okay, Mihe.
Yeah.
You know that I'm always gonna like pathetically pronounce your name with an English pronunciation. But anyway, here's the difference between bonjour in French, English, and whatever languages have rolling R's. It's bonjour in English, bonjour. I mean in French, bonjour in French, and bonjour in whatever languages have the rolling R. Bonjour.
Whoa, racist.
No, I
We
said
all.
rolling R's. Spanish has it, so do Slavic languages. Let me tell you, Polish is the hardest goddamn language I have ever tried to learn because it is not derived on a
You haven't
Latin
tried to learn
thing.
Croatian yet.
What?
You haven't tried to learn Croatian
I'm
yet.
trying to learn at least a Slavic language, but it's like here's the thing: Duolingo does not have a Croatian course. If it did, I would be learning it.
No, I'm just kidding with you.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go with the gestures.
I know, but yeah.
Anyway, I wanted to talk about
Oh,
how
do
I
talk.
started drawing gestures.
Yeah.
One of my biggest inspirations when it comes to gestures was Wunderscheiße. A Homestuck artist. She has a blog. I will link it to you right now.
Oh,
Search the blog for her tutorial on, like,
gesture.
uh, yeah.
Because I talked about my shameful past in learning like probably my most valuable like lesson in gesture from Dobson of all people.
You're right, that was shameful.
It's shameful, but you know what? It shows like I am actually genuinely sad for him and how
Yeah,
far.
he's just a dick. Fuck
Oh
him.
yeah, he's definitely a dick, and I'm very sad about that. That's exactly why I'm sad. That's somebody who was pretty great, like, we're pretty good, pretty decent, who seemed to really like art, turned out to be such a dick. That always makes me sad. I'm sure it makes people sad when they find that out about me.
Oh my god,
And you.
my friend is like, stop talking about Dobson. I'm triggered.
I was gonna say, you heard what I said. I said it's very sad when you find out that somebody that you looked up to is a huge asshole. That's probably how people feel when they learn about me. And you.
What?
And you. You're a dick, and I love you.
Oh, thank you so much.
That's why I'm doing this podcast with
Oh
you.
shit, you know what? My friend was like, yesterday, she
Yeah?
told like, Miha, when we were 10, I know you don't remember, but I showed you a drawing of an OC of mine and you laughed. And it really affected me. And I'm just like, oh, don't fucking kidding me. I was
I have to
just
say though, you've always, you know what? Actually, you when you showed me your really old artwork, I'm glad you've gotten so much better with gesture. Actually, because your work has a way of showing like a lot of really good movement. There's definitely like your work commands some really good imagery. That I say the same thing about I think that that's what moves me with some people's work is if it commands good imagery because Joe's music commands good imagery, your artwork commands good imagery, like anything that puts a picture like squarely in my mind that I can't get rid of, I think is what is the mark of a good artist in some way from my perspective. Because like what's the Pokemon, the ice Pokemon that evolves from Snorunt? The glace uh God, what is it called? It evolves from Snorunt.
Glalie, Glalie.
Glalie,
I
yes.
his Pokemon.
I think about that picture you drew of the Glalie sometimes, and I love it. I love how
Wait,
you
which
draw
picture
Pokemon.
of Glalie? I've never drawn a Glalie.
It came out. What was it? There's a Pokemon you drew.
Well, a Frostless?
Frostless. That was it. That was it. Frostless. 'Cause that was the other one that evolves from Snorunt. Snorunt evolves a certain way depending on its gender. If it's female, it evolves into a Frostlass. If it's male, it evolves into a Glalie. Anyway,
Oh,
yeah. Anyway, I really need to get that Professor Pines blog back on track. It's about
Okay,
Pokemon.
wait. Like, let's get back on the track. I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about more about gestures.
Yes, do talk about those gestures. I'm sorry if
Anyway,
I'm talking loud.
no, it's
I'm
totally
very
okay. I'm drunk too. Anyway,
I'm also high. Anyway.
so Wanda Scheisse was like my huge inspiration when it comes to gestures. So I really recommend to all of you to check out her work.
Oh,
I
wait.
linked
That's the
it.
John Rose one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Okay.
love their work so fucking much.
She's so cute. I love her. She
Oh,
follows my personal blog, but not my art blog, and I'm always weirded out by that. Like, what do you want on my personal one?
what's so good
Okay.
about your personal blog that she follows that and not your art blog? You know what? It's
Well,
like,
my personal blog used to be my art blog, like long time ago, and then I switched.
you know what?
Anyway,
Actually, one of my huge inspirations in gesture drawing, I think might still follow my not safe for work blog. I'm gonna check that while I talk about this. But Josh Lesnick, who is I think most famous for running, probably the most, from what I can tell, it's the most famous like porn comic site, Slipshine. But he,
everybody's super happy. Is that it?
yeah, super happy.
There is a Vriska in here.
Oh, for the that he drew.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you.
Oh, he's still following my not safe for work. I mean, he's drawn more for it. But
Well, I have no idea. I had never heard of him
yeah,
before.
Josh Lesnick, what I got to know him for, like, again, when I was a sexually confused 15-year-old, I would look up the previews, like the stuff that was preview available on Slipshine, and I really liked it. Um, I still like some of the stuff that I see on there, but I actually started following him for his comic Girly, and it went from like being like 80s and 90s anime inspired style to like a very cartoony style. And he's always been really good with like his line of action, his gestures and all that. And I definitely direct people to read Girly because it was it is actually still one of my favorite webcomics. And he's got such a good sense of movement. I haven't really been sticking with the Succubus comic that he has. It's called You Suck, but I haven't really like gone back and read it. But it's still got like two of his characters, Babs and Mickey, in it, and I really always liked Babs and Mickey. But
Hmm.
you can also see that he was making a conscious decision to go towards more cartoony styles that has a more expressive line of action and everything. At some point in his comic, he starts talking about actually classic Looney Tunes and stuff in it. When you get to like some of the sidekicks that were created by Happy Co and everything. But Girly is always one of those comics that was really good. The author is Josh Lesnick, if anybody wants to look that up.
I
We have
got
like
you.
5 whole viewers right now, Mihe. How does that feel?
Oh, thank you, mom, thank you, dad, thank you, sister, thank you, academy, for all these followers right now.
Yep. We have some subscribers and it's so great. Like I always say we have a small audience, but they mean the world to us.
Yes, I love you all.
We both
Volim
love
vas
you.
sve, baš ste dragi, baš ste super.
Yep. So, I have a question actually. When you look up references, how much do you do with scenery study actually?
With scenery study.
Scenery studies, yeah. Because there's a lot of like outdoor scenery that I've tried to do studies of, but I've never really gone with interior stuff. I think I'm just afraid of like the man made objects and how much more precise they are.
Well,
Because,
I'm not the best one at scenery stuff, you know.
yeah, you know what? It's like honestly, you know who's made good strides in that actually?
Anyway,
Look,
actually, I haven't really, those things the best. But when I look up references for the stuff, I usually try to remember some specific stuff.
mhm.
Like if the most important thing about making an environment
Yeah.
seem, natural.
Yeah.
With if you're talking about human stuff, apartments, room and stuff,
Yeah, yeah. It's like that's what I'm talking about,
it's the
man-made,
mess.
like
It's the
artificial.
mess.
Yeah.
It's the mess, and this the stuff. Very rarely you will find a human who has a
Has
perfect minimalistic home. It's not, it can happen,
yeah.
but more common is stuff with a lot of mess. Like I'm looking at my own side of the room right now.
You
I have a lamp. I have drawings from my real life drawing. I have pasta from 2 days ago. I have a bottle of vodka. I have a bottle of juice. I have a chocolate wrapper on my desk. I have more chocolate wrappers on my desk. I have my head. I have a, a bag of pasta.
Oh.
I
Oh,
have
you have a bag of pasta
all
on your
over.
desk? You dorm livers. It's funny.
Yeah.
Our housing when I was in college, our housing was they had a deal with the Fillmore apartment complex in San Francisco. Like the school had a deal with them where they could house students in them. So we had actually like a full apartment with like a kitchen and bathrooms and all that stuff. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Well, we just have like a small room and a small kitchen on the floor.
Yeah,
And
what I have with my desk, I have an IKEA desk actually that attaches to a set of shelves. So I have a bunch of books on them. I have vitamins. I have my prescription pills. I have 2 bottles of water, 3 bottles of Diet Dr. Pepper. Like some of them are empty. I have plates everywhere. I have a shelf with a bunch of like video game systems on them and everything too. And that's the thing. It is important to realize that environments are crowded, but one of the hardest things that I've figured out is how to place those items. Because you have to place those items very deliberately, like as somebody who's designing a background, you know? Everything is placed deliberately. Like you decided, oh, it would look better if there was this here. Oh, it would look more lived in if there was this here. So the thing that messes me up about drawing scenery is that everything that is placed without any care in real life needs to be placed there with care when you're drawing it, when you're paying attention to it. So the best thing you can do is take pictures, actually, of all of your environments. A week ago, my desk here was covered in so much trash that I filled a trash bag with it.
very
And
good.
that was
I'm
just
looking
from
at
me
mine right now.
existing.
It's really embarrassing.
I know, and that was just from me existing here with like bottles of soda, any empty cans of soda, paper plates that I used. I got myself like a mini cheesecake today, and there was a container for that. My trash was full, and that's the thing. The environments change too. And when you draw like an environment that has that much of a mess in it, you know that mess is growing and shrinking as you go. And that's what makes some environment drawing really important. You have to notice that like an environment is basically its own character. I've seen
Yeah,
that actually a lot, and that's always the most like best thing to me is that the environment that your characters live in, it's a passive environment where it reacts to the more active members, like the characters living in it or residing in it. And one of the things that you need to notice is how it breathes, how it changes, how everything happens to an environment, you know?
yeah,
That's
I
always
agree.
yeah, that's always the best thing to me is to like sort of regard an environment as its own character instead of just like a backdrop. They might be like passive and they might be just completely reactionary, but it's something to consider, you know? It's also like one of the things that I think about like in animation is actually I'm thinking about this now because of the Ed, Ed and Eddie movie that I watched. But the environment as its own character, you also map out what sort of like gesture it goes through, you know? And one of the things that I definitely want to talk about for an episode is choreography. In our chat right now, McSiggy, true, true, environments are fun as heck and shows so much character for a character when there's no words. I think Siggy there nailed it on the head because one of the people I asked you the question, do you know who I've seen who's improved environments the most, like in the last year? Like, pay attention to Siggy's stuff. Like, I know. Do you follow Siggy?
I think I know I follow her on DeviantArt, definitely.
Yep. Because the thing is, Siggy has actually done a lot of focus on backgrounds in the last year, if you haven't noticed. And, Siggy being a good friend of mine.
Well,
Uh,
me and Siggy have talked on a few occasions.
Aw, yeah, I know. It's like, I know you've talked, when the three of us have done stuff, but I don't know if you guys have talked outside of that.
Yeah, we talked a bit after that about common ships and stuff,
Aww.
but not too much.
I
Siggy
know
is
not
cool.
too much, but it's like you both are both artists that I respect a lot, so I still think it's cute if you guys have talked like once in a while.
The
Yeah. I still think it's cute. I like it when my friends get along.
uh,
Or when you talk sometimes. But like I'm sorry. It's just I'm gushing a little. I was gushing about Joe
uh,
earlier. I'm gushing about Siggy. But the thing is, I I think it's like people don't give backgrounds enough credit sometimes in that way actually because I noticed on a recent like the because of the recent New Year there was a lot of like my improvement through the New Year memes going around and nobody seemed to really like want to point out that or nobody seemed to realize to point out that her backgrounds have gotten considerably like nicer.
oh shit! I forgot to post mine improvement meme. Oh shit! I have to post it.
What do you have to post?
The yearly meme.
Oh, you do. You do need to point that. The
Yeah, I
meme,
forgot.
meme. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's
Yeah.
pronounced meme.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's me.
Or you know what? To be fair, in French, le même, la même,
In
it's
French,
pronounced
it's
meme, and it means same.
meme.
Même means same in French, it's spelled the same way.
It means what?
Same.
Same.
Yeah.
Well, it's true. All memes are like
That is
same.
basic. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so like that's the other thing. Like when watching Ed, Edd n Eddy, an environment like becomes its own character in the way that it reacts to the character, like that's moving in it. Like one of the opening gags to the Ed, Edd n Eddy's Big Picture show is Ed trying to take off his sock and put all of his belongings in it, and the way that the environment reacts, like he crashes into stuff, he rips open his wall and puts a bunch of and sets a bunch of sponges free, etc., that kind of thing. It kind of just like was there to sort of provide a force for him to react with. So in that way, it became its own character in that it was something for Ed to interact with, and I always thought that was really cool. Like
Mm.
that kind of thing, where the environment becomes its own character and you have to build it sort of around what you need it to do. And that's where like the importance of like even referencing your own space and noticing how it changes. It's yeah.
Well,
Um
well, I usually try to look up at as many environment references and then
yeah.
remember them rather than copying from one
Yeah.
because every human is individual. So does every living space is individual. But I wanted to say one more thing
Yeah.
about
Go for it.
gestures.
Go for it.
Let's just go back at that for a
Oh, hell
moment.
yeah. We're talking about like real life like the importance
Yeah,
of real life.
yeah.
So back to
Uh,
gestures.
but what I was going to say, this can be applied to environments too.
Mm-hmm.
for anything that you need to make quick notes of. So Under Scheisse was my main inspiration when it goes back to gestures. I really recommend everyone to check her out. And
Mm-hmm.
what I've heard often suggested is carrying a small sketchbook with you and
Oh yes.
taking quick shots of people around you. I remember like an image. I was in the mall and my mom is buying something, and I'm standing there, quickly sketching her as she moves towards me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what helped me the most with gestures. Like, you know, take the sketchbook and sketch everything around you. People aren't static.
uh,
You don't need more than 10 seconds for a gesture. You need to just capture the line of action, and
you
you will
capture the
learn
moment.
fucking a lot from that. Like, you'll relax, you will learn how to place gestures in the space. You know, just do it. This is the best advice you can get through relating to gestures.
I have a question actually now again.
Yeah,
Do you have public transport in Zagreb?
yeah, we have
Do you
tram.
ever like do you use the public transport?
Yeah, for college.
Um do you take a sketchbook on there and sketch the people while you're on
No, I
transport?
don't have a place to sit, and I have to
Oh,
stand and hold on to stuff.
because that was a thing in when I lived in San Francisco. I lived there for like 6 years, right? You know that, but I always need to restate it for the podcast. Um, but I lived in San Francisco for 6 years, and I had to take the Muni and the BART a lot, and those were our public transport. And because I was like on it during some like not rush hour and stuff, I got to sit, and so I would do stuff like knit, but I would also draw, and sometimes I would take gestures of the people sitting and standing on the train with me, and that was like an additional bit of practice that I got while going to college there. It was very nice. It's just it feels a little repetitive drawing like people drawing and sitting all the time, but people stand and sit like in such different ways, you know?
Well, I can't really see anything in my public transport because I'm standing, and
Yeah.
but I actually do a lot of less of gesture drawings
Uh huh.
now than I did before. And
Yeah.
before I used to carry like I made my own little tiny sketchbook, and I
Mhm.
carried it all around, and I just with pen I drew gestures, and that was how I started to get those things.
Yeah, you're just sure. You know what? The movement in your drawings have gotten better so much in the last couple of years, and I am
Oh,
so proud of you. You try so hard.
yeah, I love gestures. That's why I want to be an animator.
Yeah. What do you
And
want
actually, I'm kind of sad. I've noticed that in last 2 years or something,
Yeah.
my drawings have lost the gesture they had. The freedom
Mm.
in them because they were stuck with anatomy, and not anatomy and gestures are two tricky things to balance out.
Are
If you
you like
have too
a?
much of
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
Go on. I was gonna say, are you like being conflicted by like the rules of like the foundational studies, like what things should look like? Are you getting like sort of mixed up with that versus the exaggeration that's
Oh
allowed
no no
in
no no no!
animation?
This is connected to not only anatomy but also to my mental issues about being free and about opening up. And I've started doing those things less and less in past 2 or 3 years, and it affects my art. I've stopped
Yeah.
being emotional, and I've stopped being so open, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I've lost a thing in my gestures, which I'm trying to get back lately.
Yeah, for me, if everything seems to have declined lately for me, it's because I've been dying inside like since getting a job that isn't art. I mean, it pays decently enough. It pays enough that I can like pay off my student loans and stuff, but I think if I were to move out of this house, then maybe I could work that job more because I'd feel less supervised here. But I feel like that my art's suffered for it, that my stuff feels stiffer. But one of the things that I'm trying to reconcile with myself too is that knowing the rules of like anatomy and how a person moves and stuff like that, I'm trying to feel more connected with that, like with how real life works. But I want to also run on like the rule of cool and aesthetics and stuff because sometimes, even though things don't follow physics or anatomy exactly, it just looks better.
Yeah, you
And that's
sometimes
one
you
of the,
have to sacrifice anatomy and physics for the sake of gesture.
yeah,
I
you know what
agree.
the thing is? You exaggerate physics and anatomy to
You
make
thought
something
we're
work
going to
better.
get some chocolate. Yes.
I really need to pee, so when you come back. Anyway, one of the things that I've been trying to reconcile as an artist is, you know how they say when you know the rules, you'll know how to break the rules? It's completely true. But one of the things when you're learning the rules to break the rules is always remember how you wanted to break those rules, to be honest. Because one of the things is I know how real life and physics are supposed to work, and a lot of my time is trying to learn that, but the point of doing something with animation or with drawings is that you aren't confined to real life and you can very freely break those rules or exaggerate those rules. I think it's less about breaking the rules and more about exaggerating them because that's the point. What you learn when you first learn how to draw is how everything looks and how everything actually works. But I think was it Picasso who said that he spent however many like years learning how to draw a real person or how to draw like an adult, but spent a lifetime trying to learn how to draw like a child.
Yeah, it was Picasso.
Yeah, I believe it was Picasso, and you know what? That actually makes a lot of sense because when a child draws, they draw it from somebody who sees the world but does not understand it. So they make up their own ways of understanding it. But when you grow up, you learn how things actually work. And it's hard to go back to a state where you're able to draw like you don't understand it, you know? So that makes a lot of sense to me. And you
Mm,
have to sort of like reconcile that in your head depending on what you want to do. If somebody wants to draw like completely realistically, like power to them. You know? Oh god, what was it called? I'm still agonizing over what it's called, Mihe. There's an exercise that's done in sculpting, and I know this also in 3D. Whoops, sorry, I bumped my mic. In 3D modeling, actually, because, you know, both of them are analogous to each other. Where what you do is, as the ultimate anatomy study, what you do is you sculpt it from the inside out. You sculpt the bones, the muscles, the organs, everything. You work from the inside out for that kind of stuff. And I can't remember for the life of me what that's called.
mm, I have no idea.
Oh, shout out to L Danger who says, you know what? I never really thought of art that way. I'm guessing as an exaggeration of real life and when going with rule of cool. Mihe, would you like to say a few words while I run off to take care of some business?
Yes. Anyway, what Becca was saying, art is an interpretation of real life drawing. Real life drawing is super important. You have to know the rules to break them. The difference between somebody who, like let's say you're drawing a person and you make one hand too big. The difference between person who did it by accident and person who did it on purpose is very visible. I see it with my colleagues in college. Lots of them are unexperienced with art. I won't go into my college right now, but lots of them are unexperienced with art, and when they draw those drawings, You can see the mistakes that they did by accident. But I have another colleague, who does those things on purpose. So, if you want to exaggerate, it takes a lot of knowledge behind that, what to exaggerate, how to exaggerate it, for it to still look aesthetically pleasing. You have to know how to draw a thing before stylizing it. Otherwise, you don't really understand it, you don't really know it, you're just like either copying it from someone who did before you, or you are like doing it by accident and you don't understand it. So, uh, that's why gesture drawing, anatomy, all other stuff is important for you to draw stylistically. Like, my style is very stylized. I do a lot of, it's very cartoony, it's very comic, but I know, how to draw those things in real life. And as I mentioned, I recommend it to every artist, because these are things that you don't see immediately. You don't see your anatomy being wrong. You don't see your gestures being wrong. You don't see your perspective being wrong. But when you do real life drawing, you start to see it and you start to relax. Lots of people. Another thing why real life drawing is important is that you create a reference library in your head. You will, if you're an artist, you will draw lots of things through your life, and you won't have time to look up references every time. You have to learn to do it the quicker way. You have to have a reference library in your head for yourself to be able to, just whip out the drawing at the, moment. And real life drawing will help you with that. If you draw lots of people sitting in different ways, you will know how to draw those things later on. You will know. You won't have to look it up. You will know. Spine can go like that, or spine can go like this, and so on and so on. And references are important. You can't know everything. But with real life drawing, you can learn some shortcuts. You can learn that the further away in perspective uh, the further in perspective the head is, it will be smaller. If your head is, leaned backwards, the chin will be bigger. The space between chin and nose will be smaller. You have to learn some shortcuts. You can't just, look
Yeah,
up reference every single time.
I'm back.
Yeah, that's not productive. You just wasting time. So that's why real life drawing is important.
Sorry, I found some like of the truffles that my sister made.
Also, if you take over, like, English is super tiring.
Talking in English?
Yeah,
Is listening to English as tiring?
both is tiring.
I'm sorry. Don't worry. Is it okay? Can you do it for another 15 minutes or so?
Yeah, I can. I just need a 5 minutes break.
Yeah. Do you want to do it? Do you want to keep doing this early from now on? By the way.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm a party animal and I usually go out Saturday night.
I know, but keeping it consistent would be better.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We'll discuss it later.
We'll
Another
discuss it later.
day. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sorry because I was out for that little bit of time. What were you talking about?
I was talking about the importance of real life drawing, because that's how you build a movement reference in your head. If you
Yeah.
want to draw a person like sitting, you can't look it up every time.
Yeah. You know what I also actually suggest for people who want to keep to some better life drawing, and actually a practice that I've been trying to get better into?
Hmm?
Just taking pictures of everything around you. If you think something looks interesting, just take a picture of it. Even if you look at it later and you're like, why the fuck did I take a picture of this? It's important. Like, I was at a bar just like running an errand for my mom to get a gift certificate for our boss, right? And it was a pretty cool looking bar, so I took a picture. I think I might go there and get a burger. Apparently their burgers are good, according to my boss. But sorry, this is really fucking good.
Another thing I wanted to mention,
Yeah.
aside from, real life drawing, is real life observing.
Mhm.
You will learn the most by observing people. I maybe can't, draw in the public transport,
Mhm.
but I do observe people. I look at the angle their spine is leaning to. I look, how they weight sets itself. God, I don't know how to speak English.
It's okay.
I
It's
look,
okay.
yeah, I
You're
look
getting
at their
drunker,
weight. I look
You're
at their
getting drunker, fam.
uh, and I look at the angles, the way their spine leans or the way
Yeah.
they lean, and I try to learn and understand through that. I'm looking. My roommate is sleeping right next to me right now, and I'm looking at her. I'm looking at her shoulders. I'm looking at the way her weight, falls into the bed. And I'm remembering those things because one day I might need to draw a person, in that position.
You
And I
see,
have to,
usually you'd look like a creeper doing that, but you're an artist.
yeah, I'm an artist. You can get away with everything. Wasn't that a meme like, a few years ago? It's okay, I'm an artist.
I think it was. It's okay. I'm a scientist, but like both are
Like,
valid.
like an artist.
It's okay. I'm an artist, or it's okay. I'm a scientist. Both of those things make it instantly valid.
Wait, I'm gonna link it to the chat because
Yep.
you made this and it was a huge meme.
But yeah, like I don't know. It's like I know that a lot of what I've been. I have 4 huge bottles of vodka down by my feet. 3 of them are empty. I look like I have a problem here. Anyway, I don't know. You know what the thing is? I think it's because I've been trying to learn how it. Are you unable to link like the link if it doesn't have it broken up like that?
Yeah, the YouTube won't let me.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah, fuck
God,
YouTube.
if I had if this had a Red account, would it let you?
I have no idea.
I don't know either. Cause like that's something to make a Patreon for. If we have enough to have a Red account, then we could see what kind of benefit. I'm gonna look into the benefits of that, of having a Red account.
How about the what?
Oh, YouTube Red. That's like the subscription version. I'll look into the benefits of that.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah, if I make a certain amount on Patreon, we'll see.
Donate to Rebecca's Patreon so I can buy vodka.
Oh man, no, it's like at some point I'll make it sometimes
Petra, ovo me
drunk.
podsjeća na Juzu Famu, skupit džedi za vodku.
We both drink vodka. What about? Oh wait, are you unable to distill more rakia because of the restriction put on you guys by law, or did
What?
that not pass?
Wait, what?
Wait, I'm making a joke about distilling rakia
Yeah, what about rakia?
in the home.
Well, I can have rakia. I can.
Oh no, no, no! You told me once that um there was a restriction on how much alcohol.
Yeah. They brought a restriction a few years ago on
Yeah,
how much rakia you can make, and everyone was pissed off.
yeah. I was basically making a joke. What? Did you already hit your
Oh
limit?
yeah. I forgot about that. I thought it was something
And I
else.
forget if it passed or not because I'm not in Croatia. Is Dalmatia in Croatia?
Yeah, it's a part of Croatia. It's like the southern Croatia.
That's where the dogs come from, right?
Yeah, Dalmatia.
I'm sorry.
You're
I'm gonna be an American asshole.
the racist friend. Just kidding.
No, I don't want to be the racist friend in America. It means something if you're racist.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It could be racist to Croats. We are like white.
Oh, you're white. You know, in America, it doesn't matter if I'm racist to you because it's not actually racism. It's just white people oppressing white people.
Yeah, we agree on that. We were
No.
oppressed like for whole
You
our
know what? I'm mostly West European. Actually, I don't know. Am I mostly I'm mostly British in my ethnicity. Actually, I'm really not sure because I'm mostly Polish, yeah. But in addition to that, I'm Italian, which is like Southern European, right? Does it, or is it West European enough?
what?
I don't know. I'm also like German and Czech. Czech is Slavic, right? Czechoslovakian.
Yeah, that was like a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm mostly Slavic because I'm Czech and Polish. I'm mostly Polish, but I also have some German, Irish, Scottish, and Irish, Scottish, German, and something else in me.
Well, I mean, I won't go into those things
Yeah,
because we kind of look at people, Americans who list their whole heritage.
yeah,
We find it kind of like funny.
yeah. You find us percentaging it funny.
Yeah, we do.
I think it's because we're such a young country in comparison.
Yeah, but like you have lots of other stuff to offer. I don't really
I mean,
understand.
our country isn't even 300 years old yet.
Yeah, but you have animation, you have filmmaking, you have entertainment industry.
Yeah,
Like,
I guess we try to be like the loudest person.
yeah, but it's cool. You're the fair
Yeah, I'm not
part.
gonna pretend I don't like living here. Just I try to be knowledgeable to make up for it.
Yeah, no, America has other things to offer. It doesn't have to pick a ride of Europe's success.
Either way, that's why I'm also like glad to live here is because we have a lot going on in animation and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, can I talk about something that I thought was like really cool in a recent episode of Steven Universe?
yeah, you go.
I think the funniest gag in animation is when the characters encounter their own staff.
Oh, yeah,
In
I
a
know what.
recent episode of Steven Universe, Steven and Greg went to South Korea.
Yeah, and they saw a
And
person.
they were like touring an animation studio, and Greg noticed that his own model sheet was like hung up in front of an animator's cubicle. And
Yeah,
he just like shoved Steven out of there as fast as he could. But one of my other favorite shows where that happened was Rocco's Modern Life.
it was what?
Rocco's Modern Life. They went to Big Head Studios and they were touring it. It was an animation studio. And they were touring it. And they go into one room that was a storyboard room, and the guy goes like, "All right, then Filbert, Rocco, and the Rhino guy come into the room," and then they look at Filbert, Rocco, and the Rhino guy, and the Rhino guy's like, "Whoops, wrong room," and then like pulled them out of it. Oh my God, was that Rhino purposefully doing a Mickey Mouse impression? I have no idea now.
My favorite one was in Wonder Over Yonder when Hater is making propaganda cartoon,
Oh my God, the one that was like so perfect, like of
and he's just
80s.
like, "Oh, animation is hard. People who do this for a living deserve more credit."
I like it in Gravity Falls when they go the opposite direction of it. What I like is the self-deprecating jokes that animators make about themselves sometimes.
Oh my god, yeah, when
In
when,
Gravity
when
Falls, it's like all these clay animations are made by a shut-in who moves them frame by frame, and then like Seuss is like, these people are called animators.
yeah, this is the one.
But like another show that did that, oh God, what was it? Was actually Fairly Odd Parents. Back when it was good,
Yeah.
where Timmy did an independent movie that was supposed to be like an action adventure, but it won first prize like for comedy. And Trixie says like everyone knows that comedy is the lowest form of lowest form of entertainment next to animation.
Yeah.
And I always think that those subtle jabs are, and those not so subtle jabs are just funny. It's
I love
animators that are being
anime.
like, haha, no one respect. It's pretty much like animators going like, look, we didn't go into this to get love and respect.
Yeah, I love animator jokes.
I love
Anyway,
it so much
yeah,
because
okay, we
as
have like 6 more minutes.
oh my gosh, this went by so fast. Maybe I'm just that
Uh,
drunk. Man, Overwatch is gonna be so much fun.
anyway, we need to get back on the topic.
Ah, yes.
Do you have anything more to say?
About referencing real
Gesture
life stuff.
drawings, importance of them in animation. You went
I
to
just
animation college. How important was that
it was really
in your college?
you know what the thing is? It gives you a better idea of how things reside in 3D space. I love everything about gesture drawing. Like when I just got back into it, it's been literal years since I did some real life gesture drawing. Like the internet is fine. You can find videos online. You can find poses. You can use Pixel Lovely, and it's gesture drawing tool, which is immensely helpful. But when you're actually in the room with a nude model and you're drawing around a lot of other people, there's just something indescribable about it. There's just something about the atmosphere. And I don't know. It's like I've told you, I'm more extroverted than introverted. Um, more extroverted than introverted. I get energy from being around people, even if I never interacted with them. You know, I've always liked going to the computer lab at school. I always like going to gesture drawing workshops because there's just something about interacting with another person and directing them to do something that you want, you know? One of the troubles that I actually had at the recent gesture drawing thing was that, quite frankly, the models' poses were boring. They were very stiff, you know? And it's like there wasn't much of a line of action to them. And that was the nice thing. That's the nice thing about having someone real life is you could direct them to do what you want them to do. But sometimes it kind of just doesn't work out, I guess. I don't know. What do you have to say about this kind of thing? It's really hard to find the stuff that you want, which is why drawing in real life is great. But it's sometimes you can't communicate what you want enough.
Well, I think the better thing, like obviously, it's important that you're in the class, that you're doing something that's longer, that you're studying anatomy and shit. But even more important thing, as I previously said, was when I had when I used to carry my sketchbook all around, and I would sketch people within 10 seconds.
Nice.
Yeah, and that was when I learned the most, and when I freed myself the most. So classes are great, but I you don't need classes to learn real life drawing.
You don't.
I went to college as already developed artist. I
Yeah.
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 So that's what I recommend the most. You don't, need communication with people or people doing the perfect gestures for you. You just need to learn how to make shortcuts and how to pose a body in the space.
You know what? Yeah, that is actually very important because I'm talking about this like class is the only place that you get these feedbacks, or going with real life is the only place you can get feedback the way I do. Like, it's just a preference, honestly, because even though I go to a life drawing workshop, nobody there is, like, not many people there are professionally, like, into this. One of the guys that I talked to, he was really cute. One of the guys I talked to, he was an engineering major. Civil engineering, though. My brother was nuclear engineering, but he has had an interest in art for maybe, like, the last 6 years. And the thing is, it's never too late to start, you know? It's never too late to start. It's never too late to want to figure things out. And a very good place to start with that is with realistic drawing, because then you
Yeah, I
know what
will.
you want
I
to do.
start doing art.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? There's no bad place to start. It just, like, helps you find what direction you want to go in, because I didn't start with life drawing, you know? But there are people that did start with life drawing. But at the end of the day, if you like, one of the important things to evolving as an artist who works with sequential art or where people are moving, it's really important to see how real things move. Even if it isn't people, look at how animals move, look at how plants move, look at how objects move. Because at the end of the day, well, the most important thing is knowing how physics works, to be perfectly honest. Even somebody with just like an understanding of it from a mathematical standpoint could probably come up with something really fucking interesting, you know? Because they might not understand it from watching people, but they might understand movement from a theoretical standpoint. And I'd actually like to see somebody animate maybe a bouncing ball from. Oof, sorry. You know what? I'll be honest. I want to see somebody who understands movement from a theoretical standpoint than from an observational standpoint. Because I'm somebody who's like getting into a couple of fields from a theoretical standpoint. So that's actually the other thing. I have the standpoint as somebody who has studied as an artist. I'd actually really like to see a lot more art from people who haven't studied it as an artist. It's very frustrating to me to see people have artistic success as like people who didn't major from it. Like there are people who are into like biology and math and English and a bunch of like stuff that you wouldn't typically associate with making art, you know? And but the thing is, because they have a different perspective on it, they bring something different to the field. The same way I would bring something different to like any other given field as an artist, you know? And now I'm
Yeah.
getting into something completely different. But the thing is, I think at the end of the day, what we get is what we get from observing life through a different lens, you know? Like, as an artist, I'll look at a nude form differently from, say, a mathematician.
Yeah, that's amazing. Differences between different viewpoints in people and stuff.
Yeah, so, like, the research into nude modeling and to realistic references, it goes beyond, like, yeah, I'll, shout out to Thomas in the chat. I'll do something with plaid sometime. And it'll be the perfect appropriation of Scottish culture. I promise you. Actually, I'm wearing a plaid skirt right now. So there you go.
Oh man, you're appropriating culture.
I'm appropriating so
Listen,
hard. I
listen,
just.
every time somebody wears a necktie, the tie,
I know you
it's
feel the
an
hurt deep in your
appropriation
soul.
of Croatian
Hey,
culture.
hey, Mihe. How
Yeah.
do you feel that I always use pens for my work?
Oh, that's triggering. That's triggering
But
as
I'm
fuck.
Czech and Polish. Is that good enough?
Nope, nope, nope,
Oh no!
nope. It's Croatian.
Mihe, go back to the rakia because you can't drink vodka anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna do that.
Hey, Miche, can I
Yeah.
drink? Can I drink vodka because they make it in Poland too, and because I can't tell the difference between Polish and Russian culture?
I'm not an expert on Russian or Polish culture.
Like,
We are very different.
here's the thing, Miche. I'll be honest. There's some things that are like national dishes in Polish that are claimed by Russia to be invented there, but Poland has something. Like pierogies are a national dish of Poland. Were they invented here or in Russia or in both?
I have no idea. I'm Croatian. I'm Southern Slavic.
All right. Well, you know what? The thing is, I like being Polish. We have a Polish. Did I tell you about the Polish deli here, Halinka's?
I think you did.
Did I tell you that going there is what made me want to learn Polish? Because when I went to Halinka's, the people behind the counter had heavy accents, and when I was getting stuff for my Grammy, rest your soul, when I was getting stuff for my Grammy, there were people that came in and started talking to the people in Polish. And, like, I had an intense feeling of longing, of wanting to know that part of my culture, you know?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and that's, you know what the thing is, too, about that? I can relate that to art. actually here, even though we're going over time right now. Like, here's the thing that I think is really super cool that I want to talk about sometime is drawing on influences of mythological cultures and stuff like that. Like, I believe I linked you to the thing, like, of somebody doing some character design based on some ancient Croatian artwork.
Wait, can you repeat the last sentence?
Oh,
I can.
I linked you to something. Somebody doing some character design stuff.
Oh yeah,
They,
yeah. I actually know this person. Like,
yeah,
I
and
actually know this person in real life.
like, I'll be perfectly honest. Whenever I see anything related to Croatia, I link it to you because I don't know. I feel like you'll appreciate like acknowledgement of Croatia.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah, and you know what? It's like I always think it's cool. Whenever I think of anything Croatian, I think of you
Ah,
because you're my Croatian friend.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like a black
Joe is my
friend.
UK friend, but like you're my Croatian friend, and I know that there isn't very much representation of Croatia outside of Croatia. You know,
That's
so
true.
it's like I'll tell you stuff about like say that bear in Brother Bear that speaks Croatian in the weird accent.
Oh yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah,
I
or
think
I'll
I
tell you
was
about
like, what the
somebody.
fuck? Why don't you just, put a proper preparation course into it?
Well, you know
Like,
what? It's like
what?
I don't know. You know what? As an American thing to me is it's like it might not be the best representation, but it's still representation, which means in like 10 years you'll have good representation.
Oh, well, the thing is that we Croats don't really care about representation in America because
I know you
most
guys probably
Croats
don't
live
give
in
a shit.
Croatia and we don't need America. We don't even like America.
You know what the thing is? I know you guys probably don't give a shit, but like
Yeah, we really don't.
In America, because we're so like mixed racially, and because we're like such a young country, like I said, we're not even relatively speaking. America is an extremely young country. It's not even 300 years old yet. It'll be 300 in 2076, as far as it's concerned. But it's still going to be like 60 years until until America is 100 years old, is 300 years old. That's why we honestly speaking, that's actually why we break down our heritage into like percentages the way we do, because we're such a mix in recent history. That
But the thing is that, you don't know how people in, let's say, Poland, live. You don't have, like in
yeah,
Croatia, we have a lot of problem with getting certain products or getting
yeah,
quality products, like,
like oh sorry,
products quality here is not the same as it is in Germany.
yeah, I
You
was
can,
oh sorry,
our,
sorry.
our like for washing clothes,
Mm-hmm.
it's much less quality than it is in Germany. So our German cousins, they send us stuff that is better. Like take Nutella for example. Like it's the shittiest example, but the best one I can think of.
Mm-hmm.
Like the difference between German and Polish Nutella.
Oh,
Like
I'm gonna say by the way, in the chat, Elv Danger says, "I didn't even know Croatia existed till I discovered Aristotle."
go figure.
Thomas N
Oh my-
says, "Polish beer is good. You pronounce it. I'm sure you can do it better than me. Leś broszka, broszka, leś
I have no idea.
broszka."
Polish is very different from Croatian.
Okay, Polish beer is good. Leś broszka. I have a Polish friend who played for a Polish national football team. Croatia is nice. Thomas N basically says Croatia is nice.
Croatia is beautiful.
Dude, let me tell you, like, you took some pictures of Split once for me, right?
Yeah.
And they were absolutely gorgeous. I have them saved somewhere on my computer.
I know, right?
I know, you know what? It's like, I'm so glad that you think Split is beautiful, because it is beautiful.
It's
You and your
gorgeous.
fucking Mediterranean climate, you bitches. It's snowed here today.
Yeah, it snows here in Zagreb,
I know
but
it snows there, but like, does it snow?
in Split or in Zagreb.
In Split.
In Split, no, we don't have snow there at all.
Oh, okay. In Zagreb, you do?
In Zagreb, yes.
Does like snow where like traffic is disrupted?
Uh, in Zagreb, no, they
In
had like,
Zagreb.
pretty good organization, but when it snowed in Split, we didn't have school for like 2 weeks and everything was blocked and
Oh, that's adorable.
we didn't know how to deal with it.
I know we're going like 10 minutes over, but I just love talking to you.
Uh,
I love
yeah, we
talking to
should
you,
really be finishing it.
and we have 7 whole viewers.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what the thing is, Mihe?
Yeah.
Is it okay if I pronounce your name wrong?
Yeah, it's okay. Like, I
Okay.
mean, no, it's not you're the racist friend.
You know what? It's like, thank you for understanding the language barrier.
No, I'm just kidding. It's totally okay.
It's
Pronounce it
like
how
the thing is, it's like I feel real bad. I don't know if it's an American trait or if you have like UK English speaking friends who like don't feel bad about mispronouncing your name.
I don't have much UK friends.
Yeah, I have like a UK friend, and that is Jo, and she's beautiful and wonderful. But have you heard music that like gives you very specific imagery, Mihe?
Have you heard the music that gives you very specific imagery? I'm
It
not
like
sure I
like
understand the question.
when you listen to a song and you know what it's supposed to be about, like in your head, you imagine like the same very specific scenarios.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm a storyboard artist. That's why I wanted to do
Yeah.
storyboard.
Oh my god. You know what? Like, why didn't I even think about that? You've done some like really good storyboards for stuff. Can I say, my favorite of yours is your Steven Universe fusion storyboards.
Oh, yeah, I did that.
I need to actually do some storyboards, but it's like I said, my favorite thing to do is keyframing,
Hmm.
which should basically be storyboarding sometimes, but meh. That's mostly my problem with comics is that I'm basically keyframing the entire time.
Yeah, that's a bit of different, but that could be a good topic for another podcast.
Holy shit, it could be.
Yeah, it definitely could be. And we have to be finishing this one now.
Yeah,
There are some
I think
minutes
we've
over.
exhausted the topic as much as we could
That
in our
we are
drunken
just talking
states.
random shit right now.
Basically, life drawing is good and you should do it as an artist and keep in mind what you want to eventually do because even if you break those rules, you need to know them before you do it.
Exactly.
But
I
don't
agree.
let it stop you from drawing. And whatever perspective you bring to it, even if it's not as somebody who is an artist by trade, it's important and it's awesome and you're doing good. As long as you're trying.
Yeah, you have to combine, your stuff and real life stuff.
Yeah, you know,
If you
honestly,
draw your stuff and real life stuff at the, same time, one will follow the other and you will get a good combination of both.
Mihe, would you say at the end of the day, the biggest
What?
thing, Mihe, I was gonna say, at the end of the day, would you say that the biggest thing that matters is that a person is trying?
Well, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, if you're trying to learn, you're doing good. Because the people who don't try are the people who don't want to. You know? People who are trying will always get better, even if getting better means they still suck. That's mean. Either way, though, it's true.
Yeah, I agree.
You try.
Anyway, it's time to finish this now.
It's time to finish this. Any parting words, Mihe?
I think you covered it pretty well.
Thank you.
Do
I
real
tried
life
very hard.
drawing, do real life drawing and your drawing at the same time. Learn both. Learn how to learn the rules so you can break them. Learn the perspective. Learn the volume. Learn the gestures. Learn the anatomy. The proportions and stuff, and
Treat
apply
your
those to
environments
your
like their own
stuff.
character.
Hmm?
Treat your environments like they're their own character. They tell a
Yes.
story all on their own.
Yes.
Yes. So treat your environments like you treat any other character. Draw from life, learn how to break those rules, and have fun.
Exactly. Good words
Yeah.
for the end. Have
Thank you,
fun.
Mihe. I'm sorry I talked over you so much.
Ah, no, it's cool.
Okay. So are you
Uh,
about done for English this evening?
yeah, I'm done with English for this evening. And for
All right.
tomorrow, for like 5 next days.
All right. Thank you for joining us, everybody. This was Sometimes Drunk podcast with Rebecca and
Mihe.
she
Mihe.
says her own name right, so that's why I leave it for you to say.
Michael.
Mihaela.
Sort of.
Sort of. See,
Anyway,
that's what I mean by English pronunciation. Okay, thank you, everybody. Our audience is small, but we love every single one of you.
yes.
Okay, good night, everyone.
Good night. We will see each other next Saturday.